Hello. April 24th, the last Monday of April. And it's a little bit past 9 o'clock in Colorado time in the morning, as you can tell. Beautiful day. Sun is shining. Little puffy white clouds are floating by. The birds are running rampant on the roof next door. And I had to wait a little bit this morning because my 3 guardian angels in human form were cutting my grass this morning. Normally they're here on Fridays, but because it rains so much on Friday, they showed up today unexpectedly. So I didn't want the sound of the lawnmowers on the video. So yesterday, if you watched, you might have noticed that I made a very short video, and I promised I would explain part of the feeling that I had and why it all took place. But it is going to take a little bit of a background story. For those of you that have read my book, this background story is going to be repetitive, and I am sorry, but I'll do it in the shortest form possible. In 2006, I literally got run over by 700 pounds of steel while working for Walmart. Long story short, my knees and back were not of the best, but strong like ox, we got through it. And had to wear a brace and all that good stuff, and suffice to say that's in the past. In the summer of 2015, I did a very small, well, in my mind, small trip up my back stairs into my kitchen. And I crashed into the kitchen counter, black and blue, but I went, oh, tough, strong like bull, we're okay, get through it. The following August of that same year, where I was working for requested that I had to have in-house training, and about 2 hours drive meant that I would leave here at 3:30 in the morning to arrive in their parking lot around 5:30 in the morning, start work at 6. Well, my back and leg were pretty much sore from the drive and then sitting through the training class for 5 hours, approximately 5 hours. And so I decided to leave early rather than staying the whole day. And I said, I can't sit here like this. I need to go home. And on the way home, I was about almost halfway home. And I was on a major highway. I was going 70 miles an hour. And my right leg, the one that puts down on the accelerator, cramped. Cramped from my big toe all the way to my hip in a lockjaw cramp. Excruciating pain, and my foot kept going like this on the accelerator, and I have no way to be able to pull it off the accelerator. Grip the wheel. Literally, Jesus, take the wheel. Thank goodness that highway was not busy that time of day, but I was like this, in and out of lanes trying to get past semi-trucks who were going a whole lot slower than I was. Within about 2 miles of my exit of where I needed to turn off to go home, the cramp subsided, pain went through the roof, but I could take my foot off the gas and managed to get my way home. Needless to say, this was a great wake-up call, saying, Monica, not so tough like bull. But anyway, suffice to say that kept getting worse and worse and worse to the point where I literally became immobile, could not drive, could not walk, could not stand, could not basically do much of anything without like a lot of pain. Long story short, I ended up finding a very spectacular, wonderful, life-altering chiropractor. Thank you, Lord. Who literally saved my life, in my opinion, because with his help and gentle adjustments and putting up with my idiosyncrasies, managed to get whatever had fallen out of place in my spine back into place, very slowly, very small baby steps. Took a long time, really a long time, but when you stop and think about it, maybe not as long as I seem to remember. But ever since that drive home, I have not driven the car, the very most, maybe 18 miles one way. I was petrified, frozen in my tracks, hysterical, nonsensical, makes no sense kind of thinking that I never wanted to have that experience again. And I figured, oh my goodness, I'm going to sit that way and have my foot on the gas. It's going to happen again. All right, I'm trying to shorten this story for you. When I was still working for my corporate job here in town in February, I discovered that Radleigh Valentine, one of the creators of the decks that I use, was going to be having a local event here, like not in my area, but like local meaning in Colorado. And I'm like, oh, I really would love to do that. I would really love to go. And I'm like, this is exciting. Monica, you can do it. So I went on the website and went to buy a ticket, sold out. I mean, the day it hit, sold out. Well, I guess I'm not supposed to go to this event. Well, you wouldn't have been able to drive anyway, and you'd kind of talk yourself out of that. This is where ego steps in and tells you you can't do things. So it just wasn't meant to be, and all of that other good stuff. In the meantime, the place that's holding the event, I sent them an email and asked if they would like to have a card reader at one of their upcoming events, and I booked with them for May the 12th, which I'm real excited about, by the way. And so I'll be doing a psychic fair for them May the 12th. And so after that was all said and done, and we set that all up, and I'm like, okay, get strong, get healthy, get your exercise, you can do this, Monica, rah, 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 it's going to be daylight, all that other good stuff. And I'm like, panic city. But I still was very pleased to be able to do that. So in that email that arranged the negotiations for all of that psychic fair in May, I put on there, by the way, if you get a cancellation for Radleigh's event, please let me know, because I'd really like to go. In the meantime, I'm going, what the heck did I just say? Monica, you're not supposed to do this. You can't drive that far. It's at nighttime. What are you going to be doing? The whole thing starts all over again, right? Ego gets in the way. So, was it Wednesday? Yeah, last Wednesday. They sent me an email back and said, Monica, be here Saturday night. And I'm like, what? Say who? She said, yeah, we have a cancellation. Be here Saturday night. 7 p.m. is when it starts. Well, I have to tell you, unbeknownst to me, I'll be there. Promise we'll see you early. I'll be there bright and early. Panic sets in. I'm like, oh my God, what have I just done? So all day Saturday, as you might remember, on Saturday morning, I was like, okay, I'm going to be stepping way outside of my comfort zone. What am I going to be doing? Do I spend the night in a hotel? It's about 90 miles from my house. How am I going to get? I mean, like, I just went on this little tangent of negative thought processes, right? You can't do this. What's the excuse you could give? You've made a promise. What are you going to be doing? You could tell me you have car problems. I mean, you go through this whole list of excuses, right? Well, I decided enough was enough, and I sat down over there, little recliner behind me. I put my feet up. It's Saturday afternoon, about 3 o'clock, and I stopped, and I folded my hands in prayer, and I said, Lord, help me, please. Get all of this negative thinking out of the way. Help me to get me out of your way. I need to have the availability and the ability to once again do what I used to love, which was exploring in my car. I mean, I moved to Colorado from South Carolina. I drove myself in a little SX90. Loved to drive prior to this insanity. I need that back, Lord. I need to know in my head and in my heart, in my soul, that I'm okay and I can do this again. So this calm settled in. Got my water bottle, got my notes, got my purse, put my shoes on. Said, I'm going to head out early. Man, talk about butterflies, right? But I get in my car, got a half tank of gas, we're all good. Down the highway I go. Now, when I mentioned the furthest I gone was literally the furthest that I went prior to that was I used to go see my very dear friend where I used to board my horse Radar. When I got past her exit, I was like, okay, girlfriend, Here we go. Oh, by the way, I did print up a map from Google. Yeah, map search is a good thing. So off the highway, onto the highway we went, down the road. Construction. I found the cutoff. Got the cutoff. Driving in traffic. I'm not used to this anymore. Everybody behave themselves. Kind of stay out of my way. I turn onto the right road. Get up to where they are. There it is. There's like one car in the parking lot. Well, suffice to say, it was a great evening with Radley. We had a blast, learned a lot. Very small, intimate group. I now know where I'm going to be doing readings on May the 12th, how to get there in the daylight, all this other good stuff. Absolutely wonderful. So now we leave. It's a little past 9 o'clock, and I'm heading home. Yep, heading home, all right. Saturday night, in the dark, a woman who hasn't driven in over a year and a half, or approximately anyway, and I'm heading home on major highway, and there's cars everywhere. Glasses, right. Well, we're doing okay. Got into the construction zone, and this truck comes in front of me and swoops over to the far left-hand lane, and here come two large plastic barrels rolling across the highway right in front of my car. Boom, I hit them. I have no idea what was in those things. And I'm like, oh Lord, what now? So I'm like driving, I'm as far over to the right-hand side as I can possibly be, and all of a sudden I hear this noise, and it's like filling the sound of the car. And I'm like, oh dear God, what do I do now? There's no place to pull over. I need to get to a shoulder. What do I do? And this noise is getting louder and louder and louder. Finally get to the construction has ended. There's an underpass, like an overpass, but I wanted to get to the underpass because it was wider. Traffic was really busy. It's almost 9:30 now, so I was dragging whatever this thing was, and I'm like, oh dear God, what is it? And so I get into the underpass, and I get out of the car, and I walk all the way around the car. Can't see a darn thing. And I'm like, oh, what do I do now? So I get in the car, and I lock my doors. Father, please forgive me my foolishness. I'm okay. Share with me, please, what I need to do. Take a deep breath. I hear put the car in reverse. Couldn't get it into gear. Okay, take a deep breath. Put the car in reverse. Stick shift. Well, it's not stick shift, it's an automatic, but it would not go into reverse. Take another deep breath. Father, tell me what to do. Put the car in reverse, Monica. It was just like somebody was sitting in the passenger side and said, put the car in reverse. Put the car in reverse this time. Backed up. Lo and behold, in my headlights, backed up far enough, one of those barrels had cut in half and had gotten trapped underneath my car. I don't know how it didn't do damage or whatever, but I now take this giant deep breath and I head out on the road. But while I'm checking all of this, while I'm trying to figure all of this out, and my car wouldn't go into gear and all that stuff, there come police cars just flying by me. And I'm like, oh, okay, something up ahead must be pretty sincere here. So I get in the car, and I'm like, let's see if I still have anything else caught under there. So I kind of pull out a little bit slowly, kind of take the first mile or so under the speed limit, I assure you. And just at that point where I started to get it back up to 65 miles per hour, I heard in my ear so loud, so clear, you were just saved from the accident up ahead. My friends, I have to tell you, Goosebump City. And I stopped well, I didn't stop on the road, but I stopped my fear and my ego and my vanity from interfering and said, Lord, thank you for your protection. Thank you for your love. and it was the best drive home. I got home at 11 o'clock at night. I sat here and just kept thanking God for the wonder of it all, the way it all transpired, and for helping me to keep the faith and to do something I haven't done in a very long time. And quite frankly, I'm looking forward now to the next time I get in my car and go more than 15 miles, which might be today, actually. So, my darlings, I realize that's been a very, very long spiel, but I wanted to share that with you because it gave me such a it gave me such a feeling of peace and of love and of blessings and being protected and surrounded by God, His Son, Holy Spirit, angels. I felt my mother's presence in the car next to me on the way home. She and I used to go for long trips, and I just remembered when we drove from Canada to Florida and back in the craziest of weather and wildest of circumstances, and it was a beautiful trip, and we did it safe and sound, and it was just, well, it was just plain fabulous. So to know that we are okay, we just need to get ourselves out of the way, and with God, all things are possible. So today, my loves, have a marvelous Monday. Let's get on with the reading and see what the messages are for today. I am going to be using the Archangel Power Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine, published by Hay House, as you've heard me shuffle now for the last 15 minutes or so. Let's get on with your reading. Thank you for sharing with me. Sometimes stories of faith and testimony of God's greatness and His Son is something we all need to hear. And I was just so inspired by it Sunday and just in awe of it all as I thought about it. I was just like, oh my goodness, this needs to be shared. But I didn't want to do that for you on Sunday. Whoops, was that one of them? Yeah, it is. And so I promised that I would let you know today. So, hallelujah, keep the faith. You know, if you're in doubt or worry, turn it to God. If you don't feel like you have the courage to do something, but you really want to do that, put it to God. Trust me, He will tell you whether it's right for you or wrong for you. If something happens, like hitting a plastic bucket on the middle of a highway, don't curse the bucket. Don't curse the accident. Know that you were protected from something that could have been far worse. You know, somebody said that to me a long time ago. She was mad because they couldn't get the car started, and they couldn't do this, and they couldn't do that. And I went, what are you being protected from? Now, when you're in the middle of it, as I was on Saturday night, you don't think those things. But when you stop and take a moment, take a deep breath, and clear your mind and clear your heart, then it gives you a whole new perspective, a whole new point of view, and a grateful attitude and heart. That one, yes. It's going to be a 2-card read or a 3-card read? A 3-card read. Okay. So let's see what this is about today. Okay. We love this card. It's come up quite often. There you go. 5 of Ariel. She's inviting you to come into a place that's warm and safe, to step out of the cold, and to know that you needn't go through your current challenges alone. Wow, does that just fit in with what happened Saturday night or what? Help is nearby. Negative thoughts create self-fulfilling prophecies. Yes, they do. Cheers. But when you change your thoughts and you change them to the positive, those are also self-fulfilling prophecies. I can attest to this one a lot. Next card, 4 of Raphael. It's telling you to seek out other possibilities and to look for the magic in life. We just talked about that as well. Be aware of your own emotions. So if you're in a state of happiness, be aware of it and celebrate it and spread it. If you're in a place of fear or doubt, change it and change it to one of joy. Change it to one of love. Change it to one of hope. okayness. So this is where we're going with this one's a very healing card, by the way. And last but not least, it's healing time for Raphael. It's the Queen of Raphael. And it's telling you to listen and follow your heart. A love of home and a family. Trustworthy psychic information. Wow, talk about an intuition coming to fruition. How's that? Follow your heart. Keep your love of home and family, and that includes family that's not necessarily of blood, but family that you call, or friends that you call family. This is important to keep that love alive and to have that fellowship and to have and count on your trustworthy psychic information. And remember the top as well. This is such a beautiful thing. Kind, understanding, giving, and psychic. If this sounds like you, then take this card to heart. If it sounds like someone that you know, then pay attention to what they're saying. Because, my darlings, they're saying it to you for a very, well, special message from God and the angels. Let's put it like that. So thank you. Again, this is probably the longest video I've done other than the live feeds. I'm going to take just a moment to say thank you, as always, for watching and for sharing with me. If you'd like a personal reading, please visit my website. I will put the link below in the description. It is houseofangelcardreadings.com. Come and join us on Facebook. We're about to hit 900. Have a great time there. Saturday was fantastic. Great group that joined us for the free live 1 hour that I now do every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. So darlings, have a beautiful day, a wonderful day. Give your kids a hug, give your spouse a hug, give your mother a hug if she's still here on this earth. I would give my eye teeth to give my mother a real hug. She sure gave me one Saturday night by sitting in the co-pilot seat. So thank you, Mom. Thank you, God. Thank you all. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Walk in peace and with love. Namaste.